Hello, this one's Jill and this one's Ewan.
So we've had 6 months of early retirement and slow travel.
25 years ago we were backpacking, and here we are again with backpacks and traveling the world. We made a decision really together 25 years ago that we wanted to work to live rather than live to work. So for us that was making sure that we could enjoy life, and inevitably we got stuck with life, with family, with making careers, and work too much. But what it's done is given us the opportunity to say, no, this is it, we want to travel more. So now we are living. We were at the stage where it was time to not replace the house, but replace the cars, replace the inside of the house, and replace everything. It was time to upgrade the house. Rather than spend all the money that we had into the house and get comfortable, it was the perfect time to live our dream, get out into the world again by selling everything and getting out and doing it. We really want to explore things while we're young enough, while we're fit to run about, go up mountains, be squished on buses. 2 to 4 weeks is never going to allow us to do that, particularly when you come from Australia. Everything's miles away. So Australia, Asia, Europe.
First 6 months, we started in New Zealand, which was always the plan, a little bit more expensive, but we love it, and doing our 50k ultra. So 2 months there hiking and camping and running. And then on to Thailand, where we had our first slow travel month, where we actually stayed in one place for a month, chilled on the beach with our daughter, our older daughter. And then to Laos, which we hadn't been to before, and we wanted to, and it was en route to, we had another month there. And then en route to China, where we had the Great Wall Marathon, which was something that we'd planned for about 10 years. And so we had about a month there, and then to Europe.
Here we are.
So what were our expectations versus the actual reality?
Well, we're both very routine people who like to have structure in life. So I had imagined that not having the work structure where you get up at this time, you go there at that time, you finish at that time, and then your time's yours. I thought losing that might be a little bit hard. But no, it just meant that every day has been a weekend, and I have been able to continue doing the things that I wanted to. So I was pleasantly surprised there.
So I had the opposite expectation. So I was really excited about not having that routine and those limitations to what I could do. And in terms of exercise particularly, I was excited that I was going to be able to do everything, which is the way I always look at things. I have a massive list of things I want to do.
Mondays.
Mondays. Whereas the reality was I didn't realize quite how much I get motivated by that structure. And it's like I've got this length of time to do things in, and that's when I do it. But when I've got all day, I procrastinate and I go, I'll do that later. I don't need to get up now and do things early. So I actually found the opposite. I was looking forward to not having a routine, thought that would be easier, and I've actually found that quite challenging. Okay, Laos. We knew going to Laos that it was the burning season.
But we didn't know what a burning season was,
No.
really, other than it gets a bit smoky.
Yeah. And we'd read the things that said don't go there in the burning season. But, you know, it fitted with where we'd been and when we wanted to go. So between Thailand and China, it was the obvious place to go.
So Laos maybe was a mistake. It was a mistake to go, but it fitted and it was the right thing for us. So if you were choosing when to go to Laos, don't choose the burning season. But the experiences we had and the understanding of Laos that we got were amazing, and we were there for that crazy new year, so that alone just was amazing.
Yeah. And it gave us a real understanding of what the burning season is like, which, you know, they're valuable things to learn as well.
And that's not just Laos, really. I mean, it was the whole of Vietnam, Laos and Thailand at that time of year. That's the experience, so it's definitely worth building into plans.
So what has our daily life looked like in early retirement travel?
I would say it's just looked like the Saturday or Sunday routine. We've been able to do the same things that we've done before, but do them in beautiful places. So that's been a big success for me.
The difference I found is the food. So looking forward to being in places like Thailand where we didn't have to cook. Love Thai food, and that was great. But I have found that breakfasts particularly I struggled with, because it was just unsustainable and too much to go out and eat. Breakfast out as well as lunch and dinner out was just too much. So then it was what we could get from the 7-Eleven. So not having a kitchen or a fridge made breakfasts really challenging. So the things that sometimes it was in Thailand, chocolate milk and a banana for me for breakfast wasn't great. And
yeah, a couple of days at a holiday, it's never going to be an issue. But if you are somewhere for a month, then there is food fatigue comes in, which is something we hadn't even heard of till a couple of months ago.
Yeah. But I think that has been, for me, the biggest challenge in daily routine is the food.
Money and budgets are also important for the first 6 months.
So we have made a video from each country that we've been to on what we spent and what we ate. So you can have a look at those if you're interested in how the budget worked out. Generally, we've been on budget. There were some things that we prepaid before we came away, which again, for your first year of travel is something you can do when you're still working. So we took advantage of that and prepaid for things like our Great Wall Marathon experience and some accommodation and car hire. So generally we have been on budget. We do live a simple life and always have. So yeah, it's all working out so far so good. What has it been like being together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week as a couple? We've been together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week many times before. When we first met as backpackers, that's what it was like for the first 6 months to a year. And then a couple of times we've worked for the same company, so we've been living and working together. So really for us, it's not an issue, and it's no different to what we've had for the last 25 years.
The fun part, I guess, of 24/7 is that when you're moving about through a new city, a new town, every day there are so many opportunities presenting themselves, and obviously you can't go to every cafe, you can't go into every shop, you can't climb every mountain. So if there's one of them that's important to you, you've got to make it clear that you really do want to do that one, because you can't do everything, sadly.
What have been our favourite things so far?
Favourite things is massive. I like doing favourite things. For me, food is always a favourite thing, and a particular dish was in the department store, in the food court, which I was hesitant to go to in Bangkok, but the pepper curry in that food court was one of the best things I've tasted. It was so good. And then the weird cheese strawberry lattes afterwards, and having our daughter with us, that all was quite special. In terms of trip or experience in Thailand, for me the best trip was the one when we went out to the islands, again with our daughters, lots of snorkeling and so beautiful. And China was a favorite because everything was so unexpected, and the unexpectedness and just the oh my goodness, or what next, that's what made China just amazing for me.
My favourite things, the slow boat that we took into Laos. I loved that. The people who were on the boat really made it, and that was such a good experience. I wish it could have been longer than 3 days. Having our daughter Lazy with us, that was another highlight. Great, made it just like a holiday. And China again for the same, for favourite unexpected surprise, because it's never been on our list of places we wanted to visit. Doing the Great Wall Marathon was that was on the bucket list, so to speak, to go on the Great Wall, but didn't know anything else about China, so it was kind of a way of going to China. But once we started learning more about it and what there was to see, there's an awful lot to see in China, and it is incredible and wow and amazing and so different. So yeah,
roller coaster.
Unexpected surprise, unexpected favourite there.
Lessons learned is one of our other little categories of the day. I reconfirmed more than anything that cities are not a place that I want to spend a big time in, like big cities. For me, big cities and crowds are not what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. Having somewhere that has a sweet spot, somewhere that has the mountains next to us, has a supermarket, so we can't do without one of them, and also ideally the beach or water nearby. That's what I am looking for. The other lesson would be that slow travel is harder than expected, particularly I think the first 6 months or maybe even a bit longer. You're so excited, there's so many places you want to see, there's no way that you're not going to do things. So we've probably done more than we should have, but that's part of the fun. If I had to give any advice, I would say make sure that in the busy first 6 month plan that you do build in time for some quiet time. Put in a few days where you can just reflect and review your plans, because it's quite full on. Before you go, you choose what you want to do in a place, but even in a month or two things evolve. It might be that what you thought you wanted actually isn't what you wanted. Having an idyllic beach spot in the middle of nowhere might be wrong. You might need a big city or vice versa. And I think for me, realizing that having lots planned ahead is important, but you still have to somehow find a way to put flexibility into things, and that's going to be a challenge moving forward.
Sure. My lessons learned have been more about the accommodation. I've discovered that some kind of kitchen, aircon and space are the three things that for me are the most important. So aircon in terms of, like when we went to Thailand, we didn't have aircon and I didn't see why we would need it. If we were on holiday, it doesn't matter if you're hot and you can go to the beach, but we are living, so there are things that we need to do, like we need to sit on the computer and do banking and planning, and we're making our videos.
My brain doesn't work when it's too hot.
and that's the kind of thing that, you know, we have to do those things, and I enjoy doing the video editing and things, and to do that in the heat doesn't really work. So that was a lesson learned, that we do need some kind of aircon, whether it's in the accommodation or in a cafe nearby, but ideally in the accommodation, because I am quite a homebod. I do like being in our own space, and in that sense the space is important as well. Like we definitely want a terrace, a patio, somewhere where we can sit outside, but I hadn't realized that it's also important to have a space to sit inside as well, so if the weather's not so good or if it's cold, so you're not just sitting on the bed. So I think the kitchen, as I mentioned before, food I found quite challenging, and being in Europe now, it's so nice to have a kitchen and just be able to have cereal for breakfast and
go into the fridge
and get cold drinks, and they're small things and they're things that I don't mind for a short length of time, but when this is life, I need some kind of kitchen. So yeah, the kitchen, the aircon and the space, they're the lessons I've learned. And if I were to give advice to people doing this kind of thing, I'd say try and think about what your daily life's going to look like and what small comforts that you might need, not just for a holiday but for a longer term travel. Are we happier? For me, the short answer is yes. We weren't necessarily unhappy before, but we're happy, definitely happy now. Everything is going so well. Do we miss home? We are home. So wherever we are, this is our home, and don't miss anything. Nice place to be on a Monday afternoon at, I don't know what time it is.
1:42.
1:42 on a Monday afternoon. Nice place to be. Looking down on Dubrovnik town.
Life is sustainable. If you are not planning things as a holiday where you're up, go, Of course it's sustainable. All you're doing is what you're normally doing, but in beautiful places, and the work is planning where you're next going to go, what the next beautiful place is, and to me that's sustainable.
So we will continue.
To be
To be
continued.
continued.
Our biggest lesson learnt. For me, for us, life's too short. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so do it now, enjoy, live your dreams.
And my biggest lesson is always recharge your eSIM before it runs out and you end up in the middle of nowhere with no Wi-Fi to download a new one, and you can't access anything on your phone. Your phone really is your lifeline. You can manage without it as long as you plan ahead and download the tickets and the things that you need, but it just, yes, download that eSIM and keep it charged.
Yeah, and keep your power bank
Yes.
ready.
Yeah, bit different to backpacking 30 years ago. That's, for me, that's the biggest difference and the biggest lesson I've learned. What's next? Next is going back to the UK for the first time in
25 years, a quarter century.
So that's going to be great to see family and friends, but I'm a little nervous.
Do tell.
I always wanted to go and live somewhere else. That was, growing up, was I wanted to go and live in other countries. I wanted to visit other countries, and now we're choosing to go back. And it's
Back
going
for a
to
holiday?
back for life, but short term life, probably for the summer.
Yeah, it's a good time to go to England.
Yes. But yeah, back to the UK to see what's changed, what's different, what we remember, what we don't remember.
And for me, I'm excited because there's a chance, a possibility. I think we might be able to do it. We might get to Egypt this year.
Yeah. And Ewan can be a pharaoh.